It's that time of the morning, gang. Time for models, coffee, and a little dose of Max. Okay, maybe that was a little over the top. Anyway, time for coffee with Max's models. Let's get to it. Guys, first off, I want to thank everyone who saw the Viewers Build 48 and all the great comments on it. Of course, I immediately got popped by YouTube for all the music that I used. And since I don't monetize, I get away with that, but they're starting to ban it in certain countries. So as a backup, I started a Rumble account a while back. So there's a link below. I stuck it on the Rumble page also, which only has a few videos. And now for something entirely different. You guys may be familiar with this airplane. This is the North American F-107. And there are kits of it available. Have been for a long time. Aurora put one out, oh gosh, I think back in the late 50s when the Air Force was first playing with it. Trumpeter currently makes a fairly popular one. But it's an airplane that looks so cool. Like it could be parked on the set of Star Wars, as a lot of the Century Series aircraft could be. It was a competitor to the F-105 Thunder Chief. It did not go into serial production. A lot of people think it's one of the coolest, most awesome airplanes that never went into serial production. It did give the F-105 a good run for its money. It made a good showing, but in the end, the Air Force got the 105. Which, of course, since the F-105 went to serial production, there are all kinds of models of it. No shortage there. And another great plane. So the 107, although it looked like this in the test flights, I think they only built 3 of them. But this super cool plan form was not the only plan form that North American played with. When they were building the mock-up, they had apparently about 4 different designs. And one of them was this design. Now, the company code for the airplane was the NA for North American, NA-211. The Air Force was actually calling it the F-100B, but it was so different that it needed its own designation. So one of the first submitted designs was the NA-211, and this is just an awesome looking design. Now, it never went past the mock-up stage. There are some models, but it's just awesome. Interesting layout. Would have made a wicked cool airplane. I'm sure it would have worked, but they elected to go with the intake on top instead. And that was not the only design they had. They had this other one which looks a lot more like the conventional F-100 Super Sabre. But I just saw this and I found very little information on it. In fact, I had to join a forum on super secret projects and things that are airplanes that never went into production. You know, sort of the great forgotten aircraft, to even get these few photos that exist. Very little information exists on this. But I was just thinking, if you've got really insane kit bashing skills, there's something you could kit bash that's just awesome. I mean, that airplane just looks cool. But of course, as I mentioned, the Air Force designation went from F-100B to F-107. And it was a really great plane, so I'm sure North American made the right decision going the way they went. But still, this NA-211 would just make a really, really cool kit bash for somebody who's got some really insane styrene skills. And no, I'm not going to do it. It's definitely beyond my ability. So I thought you guys might find that a little interesting tidbit. Also, I watched the rest of that video from round 2. I didn't realize that video is about 10 months old. And they're making that 1/32nd scale, I believe they call it studio scale, TIE Fighter. So that's a must-have for all the Star Wars fans. And it's based on the studio filming models, so it should be accurate to that. On the pop culture scene, there was a little bit of a kerfuffle because apparently Paramount Plus was doing this special for Star Trek on its anniversary, and the big picture didn't have Captain Kirk. And it caused a bit of a kerfuffle in Nerdland, and I was even asked about it during my live stream with Walter Bosley. So my wife and I decided to go watch it, and we did. And Captain Kirk's well represented. However, one of the super fans decided to fix the poster. I mean, come on. When it comes to Starfleet captains, in my humble opinion, Kirk is the prototype. And I mean, come on. You think Picard's going to beat the Gorn? Mono e mono. And now for something entirely different. A glue trooper sent me this picture of a way to display large model airplanes. And then I realized, hey, you know what? I do have some airplanes posed that way. So, that's right. I'm on top of the game. And I've also been getting a few follow-ups from a glue trooper who sent something to me that instead of going to St. Johns County, apparently went to San Juan, Puerto Rico, because technology never goes bad. The AI knows what it's doing. Trust it. Ha 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 ha. Really, did nobody ever see Westworld? Well, guys, that's what I have for this morning. I hope you're doing well. Remember, this channel is all about having a good time and in good fun. And I hope you're enjoying the few minutes of the day that we spend together. Also, just another quick reminder, hopefully still going to make the Proud Bird on February 2nd out in LA. And I was thinking about this morning, since I fly out that morning, and of course, nothing ever goes wrong with the airlines, I will be posting little quickie YouTube videos to make sure that we're still on track, because that's really the only way I have to communicate with you, using YouTube as a communications device. Who would have thunk it? That Douglas World Cruiser is calling me, and it ain't going to build itself. Oh, trust me, of all the models that will not build themselves. We'll talk to everybody later. Model on.